Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well on this Saturday. Manchester United news to get into, so let's get going. First and foremost, coming in from Fabrizio Romano himself, Manchester United have made contact with Bayern Munich for Benjamin Pavard. The French defender wants to leave. United need a defender. He only has 1 year left on his contract. I think this is a deal Manchester United can and will get done. I expect to see movement on this within the next couple of days. If this is going to happen, it has to come quick. Expect breakthroughs probably Tuesday through Thursday. That's where we need to see the real fast movement happen. That's where we need to see Manchester United getting things done with this transfer. So I'm asking you guys on the poll today, who would you rather sign, Benjamin Pavard or Jean-Claude Todibo? Those are the main two options to replace Harry Maguire in this squad. Personally, for me, I'm going to go for Benjamin Pavard. I think he offers the cover at centre-back. I think he plays right-back really well. Going to help invert. Will make a back three in possession. I think he's the smart choice. I think he's the tactical choice. An experienced winner, has won everything in football. World Cups, Champions League, Bundesligas. I think Pavard is the guy. So let's see what Fabrizio Romano has been saying. So he says Manchester United have contacted Bayern Munich over Benjamin Pavard. There is still no green light from Bayern, but Pavard's intention is clear. He wants to leave. He will not sign a new deal at Bayern Munich, and his current deal expires in 1 year's time. This is a deal that should be fairly straightforward for United to complete. Bayern need to sell him. He's not going to sign a contract. He wants to leave. I think we can do this deal. Irfan's in the comments. I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing well as well, man. I'm doing really good on this Saturday. So, Pavard, I think this is the right choice. I really do. I think looking at Todibo, I think he's a brilliant centre-back, no doubt about it. Very young, a lot of potential, but I think there's better, younger centre-backs we could chase next season. Pavard gives us different options. He answers two questions. He answers the right-back position and the centre-back position. Both will be covered with Pavard. I think he is the right guy. Ronnie is saying, any news about the midfielder? In terms of softening Amrabat, there is small updates coming through. So with Fred going to Fenerbache, deal done and complete, it should be very soon. United should be making this official move probably next week. I expect to see Van de Beek done this week. I expect to see Maguire moved on this week. And that opens the door to two new signings. And I think we will get to. I think midfield, defender, anything after that is a bonus. I wouldn't expect too much more. But if we do get it, that would be brilliant. It really, really would do. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We're up to 9 likes. Thank you very much for everyone who's liked the video so far. In terms of the poll, 16 votes within the first minute or so. 75% of you guys are going for Benjamin Pavard. He does seem to be the favourite amongst the United philosophy faithful. I think he's the right guy. I really do. Brilliant defender, very good in possession, plays right back, plays centre back. Look, Maguire last season, he started 9 matches at centre back. I think we can get away with not bringing in a like-for-like replacement. I think he does both issues. I think that kills two birds with the one stone. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Ashid, good evening to you as well. Yeah, man, I always come in pretty early on the weekends, just because people like to do things on the weekend as well, myself included. So, yeah, I mean, earlier stream today, not going too early with it. So it'll be same time tomorrow, 5:30, then Monday, of course, watch a long time for the Wolves match. Excited for that one. The Premier League's been very good today. I've loved watching the football back. Can't wait to see Erik Ten Hag's tricky Reds back in action. Hopefully going to get a good win against Wolves. I think that's what we're going for this week. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them into the comments. We will go through all of the news. We want to get talking on that stuff because there's plenty to go through today. So, Pavard does seem to be Erik Ten Hag's pick. He does seem to be the guy United are going to go for. I think it's a really, really smart move. He wants to come to United. Fabrizio Romano during the week did confirm as well. Pavard would love to come to Manchester United. He would love to play in the Premier League. Christian Falk of Build as well has said United are serious about signing Benjamin Pavard. Talks are ongoing as well. So there's a lot of sources, both Romano coming in with the good news, both the German sources as well. Falk, we've got Letty Goal as well confirming the news. So Manchester United, this is the guy we're going for. Ronnie's in the comments. I'm with you. You can play right back and centre half. Looking at the stats, very good speed on the ball and pace. Yeah, I mean, look, he's not a rapid defender, but he's a very good carrier of the ball. I'm most excited about the defensive stuff and in terms of what he does with the ball. The passing is brilliant, guys, and the better United can be playing out of the back, less goals we're going to concede this season. I think right back is the problem area at the moment. I think Wan-Bissaka, yeah, he's good. Really, really top level defender, really good tackler. I think we need to see I think we can improve going forward on him. I think Pavard is that guy. I think he's better than Delo defensively, better than Delo on the ball as well. So if anyone's going to lose out, I think it's going to be Diogo Delo, guys. She's going for a 3-0 win on Monday. I would love to see it, man. I will say this about the Wolves match. Most important thing is getting that first goal. We've seen in the Burnley match against Man City. We've seen today for Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. A goal within the first 30 minutes, it really opens the game up because they will come. They will try to be hard to beat. They've not got a lot of goals in that team. If United can manage to go on and get that opening goal, score within the first half hour, it opens the match up. We can hold on to the ball, wait for Wolves to inevitably come out, and then we can hit them even harder. Ashid is saying Torino just scored on his debut. Who's that for, man? Maybe that. Oh, is that there in the Newcastle match? I'm not seeing too much from that. But it was a good day for football today. I'm excited for United to be back. I'm sure you guys are as well. 25 votes in the poll. 68% are going for Benjamin Pavard. 32 for Tobito. I think it's one or the other. It is. I would love United to sign both, but I think it's going to be Pavard. I think he answers two key areas in one go. Covers the Maguire absence at centre back, gives back up to Varane in that position, probably starts as well at right back. And then when we need to rest Varane, because it will come, Varane will need rest. He will be a guy who will pick up injuries. We can play Pavard at right centre back. We can bring in Wan-Bissaka, bring in Delo. That's squad depth. That is quality depth. And that's what Manchester United need. If we're going to compete with City, with Arsenal, we need depth and we need to have the squad for the job. Drop a like on the video, guys, and get voting on the poll. I can see loads of people are joining in, so welcome to the earlier stream. I hope everyone is doing very well on this fine Saturday. And very, very good day for United. I think this Pavard deal's looking good. Fred going... I mean, Fred is a player who I've got a soft spot for. I mean, he worked hard for that team. He worked so hard, and he was a good player. He was a good player for United, but we can do better. I think Amrabat will be the natural upgrade. I think he will be the man coming in, replacing Fred in the team, getting those minutes in, getting that real steel in that midfield, and that's really going to help United out big time, because it means that we can go away to the Emirates, go away to Anfield, the Etihad, play Amrabat, play Casemiro. That's going to help us in those big matches. Really is, guys. Ashid says, just want to watch some football. Not a fan of any of the teams playing. Only United. Yeah, man. Football cravings. They've been kicking in for weeks. It's back now. I mean, I watched Arsenal versus Forest. I watched a little bit of the Brighton match. I'm not going to be watching those guys all season, but... football is football, and it is back, guys. And of course, everything will be covered on the channel, so make sure you're staying tuned for all of the United stuff as well. After today's stream, I probably am going to record the preview for the Wolves match. We'll get that uploaded tomorrow, just a short video, 5-6 minutes, and then we'll do a live preview as well tomorrow night. We can get you guys' thoughts on, get some of the member chats in, and get some opinions going as well. So United kicking off last, we're going to know what we have to do. We have to win this match against Wolves. That's important, guys. I think that's going to be the way we work it. We have to win this first match. Then we go to Spurs. Spurs are going to be interesting. No Harry Kane's going to be a big miss for that team. Let's see what they're going to shape up like. It's going to be hard to predict. 29 votes in the poll. 69% are going for Pavard over Tobito. Look, if we sign Tobito, I'm really not complaining, because I think he's a very, very, very good player. I think we can do better next season, though. I do. I think maybe we can go for an Antonio Silva, a Diamond. I think those are the options we're going to go for next season. Go big on a long-term successor for Varane. One of those top young centre-backs coming through. They will be ready by the time Varane is moved on from Manchester United, because it will come. Varane's not going to be there all season long. He's not going to be there for 4 or 5 years. So I think United would be smart to make this move. That's what I would like to see. I think that shows long-term planning. If we bring in Pavard, he can play centre-back. He can play right-back really well. I think he is the right guy. Important to remember about Pavard as well. Man is a World Cup winner, a Champions League winner, a Bundesliga winner. You know, the more players we can have in this team used to winning, playing in the big matches, being consistent, that's going to help this team so much as well. It really is, guys. And it's going to help us whenever we're playing out from the back. If we have Pavard, Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, that's going to be a massive one. Ronnie says 1-1 in the Aston Villa match. Yeah, I mean, Villa's going to be a team to watch this season. Newcastle going to be a team to watch. I'm just excited for this season, guys. I really am. Cannot wait to see. Let me just see if I can get a live score up here as well. Just so I can keep track of it for you guys. Yeah, 1-1. Tonali with a goal for Newcastle. Can't see who scored for Aston Villa yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a good match. So, guys, get those thoughts in, get those likes on the video. And look, it's a Saturday stream. We always do these early. I like to know what you guys are thinking. So, what do we think on today's match? What do we think about Manchester United versus Wolves? For anyone who's just joining, who might have missed the initial update from Fabrizio Romano on Benjamin Pavard, so Manchester United have made contact with Bayern Munich for Benjamin Pavard. There's no green light from Bayern as of yet, but Pavard's intention is clear. He wants to leave. He will not sign a new deal at Bayern Munich, and his deal expires in 1 year's time. This is his last season at Bayern. I think this is a deal we can do comfortably. I think we can get it 25 million. I think that is a done deal territory, and for that price, for a player of that quality, it's only going to be great for United. It really is. And if we bring in Stefan Amrabat, that's 50 million for Amrabat and Tebito, two really good players. Experience, going to help us a lot in the big matches, going to help us play football even better. That's the signings we need. New comment coming in. Can United sign Onana of Everton and Amrabat? We might do. There is a link to Amadou Onana for anyone who might be interested in that potential deal. Let me just load this up because it came out this morning. Let me see. Where's my notes? Yeah, so where have we got? Why is that minimized? I don't know, guys. Give me one little second here. Ronnie saying, I have to say, Villa playing some brilliant football. Yeah, they're a good team, and under Emery, they have been different class. They really have. Coming in from Simon Jones of the Daily Mail, this is the Onana update. So we might have two Onanas, guys. Something to watch out. Manchester United are studying the possibilities of an approach for Amadou Onana. The evaluation of Everton will be key in any deal. So I think, as we know, guys, there's not much value in buying in the Premier League. There's really not. Moses Caicedo going for close to £120 million. The value is not there. It's really not. I would say Onana is probably a £30 million midfielder. If United want him, it's going to be 50 or 60. I don't know if we got the budget for it, guys. I really don't. I think Amrabat's the man at that price. I think Pavard's the man at that price. That's going to help Manchester United. Really is. Drop a like in the video, guys. We're up to 16 likes. In terms of the poll, 39 votes so far. 62% are going for Benjamin Pavard. We've got 38% going for Jean-Claire Tebito. So it seems to be Pavard is favoured amongst you guys. I think both options are really good. If we bring Tebito in, that's a long-term succession done for Raphael Varane. It really is. If we bring in Pavard, it means we can go for an even higher potential centre-back, a Diamond, and Antonio Silva. I think that makes maybe more sense in my head. But if United bring in Tebito, I'm not complaining under any stretch of the imagination. So we have an update coming in from French football news as well. Manchester United had a scout present at Nice versus Lille last night to watch Jean-Claire Tebito and Pvard Thuram. So two players being watched last night. Both are very good players. And we've seen Thuram linked to Liverpool early in the window. That deal didn't happen. I think he's a good player. Is he what we need? I'm not sure, because he has been playing further forward than the positions we need. I think Amrabat's the right guy, the right sort of mix between a defensive midfielder and a box-to-box midfielder. I think we've got a lot of attacking players, a lot of attacking number 8 players, Bruno, Eriksen, Mason Mount. So I think going for the more defensive option, it only makes sense for Manchester United. But get those thoughts in, guys. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's one. Jerry says Amrabat and Pavard are a big upgrade on the players leaving. Absolutely. If you guys think about it, if we're going from Harry Maguire, Fred, Donny van de Beek to Pavard and Stefan Amrabat, that's a massive upgrade. And there's still players I would like to move on. Scott McTominay, definitely one of them. I think now is the prime time to sell. I've been saying this for a while, guys. I think the issue with Scott McTominay is United have overvalued the guy. £45 million for McTominay, it just doesn't make sense. He isn't worth that amount of money. I just don't see it happening. I really don't see anybody paying that quality of money for Scott McTominay. Alex is down there seeing rumours of Aurelian Tchouameni to United. Not sure how true that is. I think he's kind of like a dream signing. I think he would be absolutely fantastic coming in, and he would be exactly what we need. If our midfield options next season were Kobe Minu, Casemiro, Tchouameni as the sort of more defensive sort of guys, then we have Mount and Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes. That's really, really good, exciting, really, really top level. I don't know if we've got the budget for it. I think if we go and look to Real Madrid, they'll be asking for 60, 70 million. I don't think they're going to sell him for that amount. Would be a dream signing, make no mistake about it. If United pull that off, I would be over the moon, guys. Lee is saying, why Man United can't use Pavard at right back and Tobato at centre defence? Look, that could be a really smart option. It would be, but I'm looking at it from our budget. I don't think we're going to sign 2 defenders. I think we will look at it. I think it's a sell to buy sort of stage of the window we're in. We're selling Maguire and we're bringing Pavard in, potentially. We would then have to sell a Victor Lindelof, or we would have to sell Raphael Varane. That's probably the only options we could sell to bring in both players. I think we need a midfielder more than we need 2 defenders. If we got both and Amrabat, I'm not complaining whatsoever, guys. That could be brilliant. Ralph is down there. I'm begging the board to please sign Amrabat. I don't want to see him go to another team. He'll be a great addition in midfield. Completely agree. I think Sofyan Amrabat's a brilliant midfielder. And look, I know we have this image built up from the World Cup when he was really running the show for Morocco, putting tackles in, pressing. The man is elite on the ball. He is fantastic on the ball as well. His possession play is so good. In Serie A last year, the most progressive passes, so that's forward passes. He also had the most sideways passes as well. So this is a guy who is a bit of a metronome in midfield, will play a lot of passes, knows when to move it forward, knows when to keep it safe and hold on to the ball. He had the most progressive carries in that league, so he is a guy who gets the ball and progresses. I think that's one aspect of the game United struggle with. It's getting the ball from defence to the midfield into the forward line. I think Bruno, I think Mount are brilliant when they get on the ball, but I think we need somebody to be running the midfield in that sense. And I think Amrabat is absolutely perfect for that. Irfan says Ibrahim Sangare. Sangare was a player who was linked last year. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's Amrabat level, but I do think he will be a really good option as a backup maybe, but I don't know if he's going to be the guy we go for. Let me just have a check here as well. I want to look at the Sofyan Amrabat update I have. So, yeah, coming in from Fabrizio. So, Manchester United will now focus on sending Donny van de Beek to Real Sociedad and will hold talks to sign Sofyan Amrabat. Coming in from Gazetta as well. After agreeing to sell Fred to Fenerbache, Manchester United will now finally make their €30 million bid to sign Sofyan Amrabat. So, this is a deal that's gonna heat up, guys. Expect a lot of movement. I think this is something we're gonna see this week. I think first and foremost, Maguire will go to West Ham. I would expect this to be after the weekend's matches. So I think Tuesday is going to be a big day. On Tuesday, I would like to see a speed up in these Pavard talks. I would like to see Harry Maguire agreeing personal terms with West Ham. And I would like to see us make a formal approach to Fiorentina for Sofyan Amrabat. I think that's going to be the window, in my opinion. Terry says, going to be interesting to see who Ten Hag brings in. And Ten Hag we trust. Absolutely. If Erik Ten Hag wants a player, I'm going to back him up. I really don't think he's got it wrong in the window so far yet. I really don't. In terms of his signings, I mean, maybe we could say Anthony hasn't been a massive success yet, but potential's there. Potentially he could be. And I'm expecting a big season. 50 votes on the poll so far. 59% going for Benjamin Pavard and 40% going for Tobato. Talk about Marco Leonard from Santos for the striker options. I think we might go for a striker. I think a striker would be the last signing of the window. And I think it might depend on moving on Anthony Martial. That's where I think United are going to get this money from. Does Martial move on? I want him to. Do I think we should be selling Martial? Absolutely. It's just whether we can, whether there's a bidder there, whether there's somebody who's going to pay actual money for Anthony Martial, knowing the injury risk. There was talk about Fenerbahce. I don't know if that's going to happen personally. Um, they've already signed Fred. I mean, if they sign Fred and Martial in the one window, that's good for Manchester United. Really is, guys. Irfan says in Nustepan, world class today. I think Nustepan's a really, really good fullback, really, really good option. But I think we're quite covered in left back with Luke Shaw and Malacia. I think left back's less of a priority. It really is. I think Pvard at right back and covering that centre back position, that's those areas of the pitch covered. I think Amrabat comes in, gives us that midfielder we need. And then we have 6 really, really good midfield options from Casemiro to Mount to Bruno, Eriksen, Amrabat, and then of course Kobe Menu when he comes back will be in the first team. Erik Ten Hag loves the player. I think there's a lot of potential in the guy, so I'm feeling really positive on that one as well, guys. Ronnie is saying there's no strikers out there we can pick up on the cheap or even on a loan to the end of the season as a backup. That's what I think United need to do. A cheap striking signing, a Taremi, maybe a Leonardo, someone like that comes in and just gives us that little bit extra up front, gives us different options. I guess we can play Rashford there, but then we're taking him off the left. He isn't as effective through the middle. But I mean, we've got Garnacho can play there as well. So we've got different options. We can play Sancho false 9. We've done it in pre-season. I haven't been impressed with it overly, but I mean, it is an option. I think the real option is Rasmus Højlund through the middle. I think if we can bring in another striker, that's massively, massively beneficial to Manchester United's hopes of finishing high up that league table. Goals will be key this year. I'm not too worried about the defensive stuff. I think United's going to keep a lot of clean sheets this season. I think we're going to hold more of the ball. We've got a very, very good backline with Luke Shaw, with Martinez, with Rafael Varane, potentially Pavard coming in. I think that's a brilliant back four. I think that's going to keep clean sheets against most teams. I think it's going forward as well. If we can get the goals, that's going to be so important. And Pavard will help. Amrabat will help. And it's not that these guys are going to score the goals. Make no mistake about it. But the overall play, moving the ball further up the pitch, faster up the pitch, better passing, more chances being made. And we've got Rasmus Højlund up top. I think United can score a lot of goals this season. I really do. Look, against Wolves, it might be a low-scoring match. We might go low-scoring against Spurs, against Arsenal, against Forest. But after the first 4 or 5 matches, I would expect to see Højlund back in that team. I would expect Manchester United to be up to full strength, really putting goals away. If Martial is going to be here, I guess he's not a bad backup. But I don't know, guys. Alex says, I hope we get Marcus Leonardo. Seems like only rumours. Yeah, look, there's a lot of rumours go about Manchester United. As we know, we get clicks. We sell newspapers. It's happened many times before. Brazilian sources, Argentinian sources, they can make things up. It can be exaggerated. And sometimes these players, they are genuinely looked at by United, but we just don't do anything with it. I'm going to check as well on the news here, because there was some other stuff we wanted to go through as well, just before we shoot on into just complete open chat as well. Let me see what we have. Yeah, so update coming in from Harry Maguire. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Harry Maguire's deal to join West Ham is not done yet. Manchester United want to start talks and pick their favourite replacement before they let him go. I think we're settling. I think we're settling for Pavard. The links seem to be stronger. We're in talks with Bayern Munich. The player would love to come. So I think that's United making the first steps towards that signing. Irfan says Luke Shaw can play centre-back. He can play centre-back if needed, absolutely. He'll be a good option there. Hopefully we won't need Shaw at centre-back, because if we've Luke Shaw at centre-back, it means that Martinez is suspended or injured. So let's hope we don't see too much of Shaw at centre-back this season. Not a bad option to have. Versatile players are a necessity. And one of Erik Ten Hag's players that he really used a lot of at Ajax was Daley Blind. And Daley Blind could play left-back and centre-back. He could even play midfield if needed. I think we're looking something similar with Pavard. I think he'll answer 1 or 2 issues at once. I mean, the guy can play right back and centre back. Played 3,200 minutes last year. Pretty much an even split between right back and centre back. I know personally he wants to play more centre back, but in Erik Ten Hag's system, the way he would be playing, he basically would be a centre back. He'd be coming in to the middle of the pitch, inverting, making a back 3. I think that's going to be the way for him to go. And he wants to leave Bayern Munich. He has 1 year left on his deal. I think this makes all the sense in the world, guys. I really, really do. I did want to update you guys as well because there was some news coming in on Mason Greenwood. Terry says hit the like button as well. Yes, guys, hit the like would be much appreciated, guys. And vote in the poll if you guys haven't already. 66 votes. And we have 59 going for Pavard, 41% going for Jean-Claire Tobito as that centre-back option. I want to check this Mason Greenwood story because I did see it before I went on, so I feel like it's important that we have the up-to-date news, that we have reliable news on this. Obviously, it's a very sensitive issue, so I want to get this right. It was coming in from Muppeteers, and if anybody does know, United Muppeteers genuinely this season have been tier 1. They've been absolutely brilliant with their news all summer long. Let me just quickly get this up. Yeah, so here we have it here. So the Mason Greenwood investigation by Manchester United is complete. So it is done in that sense. United have completed the investigation. Manchester United are now in a briefing phase where they're firstly notifying important parties and addressing concerns with sponsors, with the players, with the coaching staff, with board members, and with the women's football team as well. The club will be accepting feedback, but the decision is made and based off the objective findings in the investigation, and it will not be an opinion. The opinions of the coaching staff, the sponsors, of the women's team, and of the first team as well will not change the Manchester United's official decision. So the big guys in the club, the Murdas, the Arnolds, have made the decision. Everybody else is just going to have to take it now. We're in that position where they're briefing, where they're letting everybody know, digesting news, getting the feedback. I don't know how it's going to be handled. Irfan says United would like to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Anistapan Pavard, Ibrahim Sangare, and Victor Osimhen. Yeah, we're not getting that money for Osimhen. Jason says Thuram plus Amrabat would really make the midfield strong, threatening, and exciting. It would be very, very exciting, guys. Ashid is saying as well, I meant to say Tonali and not Torino. Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe because Livramento scored as well. But it is 2-1 to Newcastle last time I checked. Let me just have another double check of this. Yeah. Diaby scored for Newcastle as well. Sorry, for Aston Villa, for anyone wondering. And Alexander Isak scored as well. So that's a good signing for Villa. That's a good signing for Newcastle. The matches have been kind of predictable. So far this in this first phase of the first weekend of the Premier League, there's been no upsets really. City won. Arsenal won. Brighton won. Let's hope United don't buck that trend. Let's hope United go out, have a nice, comfortable win over Wolves. That's what we want to see. But guys, that is the update on Mason Greenwood. I do like to bring you guys the latest, but I think it's always important that we look at the sources as well. Muppeteers have genuinely been fantastic all transfer window for the last 2 or 3 years, so I'm going to take their word for it. I also think it's important that we call out some of the reporting as well, because there was really, really bad reporting yesterday. They were saying members of the United women's team had said not to bring Greenwood back in the reports. I mean, first and foremost, Muppeteers are saying they're only looking opinion, decisions already made. And secondly, those reports from The Sun, from I think it was Jimmy Jackson as well, they were saying United had asked opinions of women's players. And most of the women's players who they had listed don't even play for United anymore. So it would have nothing to do with that as well. So look, it's not going to be the women's team making a decision. It's not going to be Erik Ten Hag. It is not going to be first teamers or sponsors. Decision has been made. They're telling people what it is. And it's Richard Arnold, it's John Murda, it's probably the Glazers as well have had an input on this, and they've made the call. So we just have to find out what it is. Sit tight. It probably should come, I don't know, maybe after this Wolves match. Maybe that's where we're going to go. Ralph says, I hope Greenwood can make the team. Anthony needs some competition. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting one. We will react, of course, to it live and direct on the channel and get you guys the opinions, get you guys the views and the right news as well. Everything's always source checked on the channel as well here. So let's wait and see what happens. That's all we can say. I will say this, for anybody who thinks Greenwood will come back into the team and play anytime soon and start scoring goals again every week, it's not going to happen. Mason Greenwood has been out of the game for 18 months. Mason Greenwood has not played in a long, long time. It's even if he comes back first thing on Tuesday morning for training, he might not be able to play until December. It's going to take a long time. It isn't even like a pre-season. This guy's going from 0, having to get up to 100 to play at the Premier League level. It's gonna take a while to get there. Ronnie says, sad to see Villa player being stretchered off. Looks like a broken leg. Who was that? Who's gone off injured for Villa, Ronnie? And yeah, I mean, we've seen some of these in this Premier League game week already. Kevin De Bruyne lasted 20 minutes last night before his hamstring went. I mean, this is a consequence of the amount of games players are playing. And I know people will say it's only the first match of the season, but I will say this. Kevin De Bruyne played that Champions League final with a torn hamstring. It's come back to haunt him. Pep will not be happy. On the poll, guys, 83 votes. 58% are going for the Pavard. 42% going for Jean-Claire Todibo. Terry says, any news on the sale of the club? Not too much. Not too much in terms of the actual sale. Really has gone quiet. There was reports come out that maybe it was delayed. Maybe it had been paused. I don't know. It has gone quiet. Obviously, it's a big sale. It's a big operation. This will take a long time to complete, but we would like to see more movement on it. Absolutely. Robert says every day different names. Yeah, I mean it's Manchester United. There is always different names, but I think we're settling down into what's going to be the likely signing. An update coming in from French sources. There is a belief Jean-Claire Todibo could happen in the last 2 weeks of the transfer window. Nice are expecting nothing less than 35 million. It's quite a bit of money, that it is, when we consider the budget for centre-backs only going to be 30 million. So I think Pavard's more realistic in that sense. Will Højlund be around for Arsenal game? Yes, that was something Laurie Whitwell had said. The initial reports were massively exaggerated. The Daily Mail went for a doom and gloom, big clickbait headline saying Pavard had broken his, Højlund had broken his back. It's not true. He had a small back injury. If it's not managed properly, it could develop into a bad back injury. But it ain't gonna happen. United's taking him out of the team. United's just has him one-on-one training. He is training. He's on the pitch. He's working on the grass, so that's good. We're going to find out what happens with Højlund, but I would expect him to be back soon. Expect him back for that Arsenal match. That's when we're looking to start him. He might even be available for Nottingham Forest coming off the bench. It will happen as well. Ashid says Varane was right with the statement regarding injuries. Yeah, look, some injuries you can't do anything about. Like, make no mistake about it. If a Villa player has broken his leg, that's a bad tackle. That can happen in any match. It's the hamstring injuries, it's the muscle injuries, it's stuff like that that adds up, that we're seeing more and more and more of in the game. It's going to lead to players having shorter careers, and all this talk about looking at bigger Champions League, looking at better Club World Cup, I mean, that's just going to add to that issue. That's really going to be a problem. I'm trying to see if anything's been confirmed about Aston Villa potentially having a bad injury. Not really seeing too much on it. Can't see it here, but it probably has happened as well. I think it was Ronnie who went down for Villa. Mr. Diaby does look like a good player as well. So yeah, that is the Manchester United updates in the most sense. For anyone who is joining in with us and wants to know about Benjamin Pavard, Fabrizio Romano, at the start of the show, we were able to confirm from Fabrizio that Manchester United have opened contacts with Bayern Munich for Benjamin Pavard. The player would love to come to United. He wants to leave Bayern Munich. United wants him. It's down to Bayern Munich now. That's what it's coming down to. And as Fabrizio says, I will get this into the comments because this is quite an important update. There is still no green light from Bayern Munich for Pavard to leave. But Pavard's intention is clear. He wants to leave. He will not sign a new contract at Aston Villa, and his current deal expires in 1 year's time. He will be running out of contract soon. This is a player that Bayern Munich need to sell. They don't want him to go for free. They've just spent a lot of money on Harry Kane. I'm sure that the additional revenue coming in of a sale for Pavard would definitely help them out. And I think that has to be what Bayern Munich are thinking. I think that's what they will think. I think United will get this deal done. Look, Todibo is still an option. Todibo is definitely an option. He's a brilliant, brilliant centre-back. Really, really good option. Whether or not we sign him, I don't know what's going to come down to. Andrew's in the chat. Good to see you, man. Hope all is good. 92 votes on the poll as well, guys. 59% going for Pavard. 41% going for Jean-Claire Todibo. So it's favouring Pavard, but Todibo does have his fans in the United Philosophy community. So big ups to you guys as well. Let me check as well, though. Some other stuff I just noticed on my notes that I took down for today's show. I want to go through those. Yeah, coming in from This guy coming in, West Ham will look to complete the signing of Harry Maguire over the weekend. They're free now. They've played their first match of the season. I would expect to see movement on that one. I would be very surprised if Harry Maguire is in the United squad to play Wolves on Monday night. I think this deal will move quickly. I think this deal will happen very quickly. And I know you guys are really excited about it. I know you guys want Maguire gone. I do too. I really think this is the time to move him on. I think he himself has probably admitted that it's time to go. And I think it's nothing but a good thing, guys. This is a man we need to sell. So much toxicity around this player, and it isn't his fault. The fans have turned their back on him. United do not want him. Ten Hag doesn't want him. He has to go. He has to leave this football club. He needs to go to West Ham. That's the best offer on the table for him. Let's hope that United get the deal done. Let's hope we manage to get Harry Maguire sold. And Benjamin Pavard, that is one hell of an upgrade on Harry Maguire. Make no mistake about it, guys. And it would be a deal I'm really, really excited about. I think one of the biggest areas United need to improve in is the right back position. You guys know this. You guys do know this. I think it's going to be important that we manage to get the right back in. I think Wan-Bissaka is good. I do. And I think he's a really good defender. But on the ball, he still isn't good enough. I think Dalot is weak defensively. People say he's very good on the ball. He's not. So I think he needs to move on as well. I said this against the Lens match. Dalot always has a mistake in possession in him. He always has that risk that he's going to play a bad pass. And 5 minutes later, he played it behind Varane. They scored. Ronnie says Mings looks a bad one. Is that the stretchering off? Tyrone Mings, I mean, yeah, look, this is an injury-prone guy as well. I think it's interesting watching in the matches I've seen so far from last night with Burnley, today with the Forest match, they're playing high lines. They're playing high line football. Marcus Rashford might thrive in the early stages of this window. Let's hope Wolves rock up to Old Trafford with a high line. If they do, United will win that match. Garnacho running in, Rashford running in behind. It will be exciting. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We're up to 35. Can we get up to 40? Andrew says anyone better than Maguire. Let's be honest. Yeah, look, he's not good. He is a good player for West Ham. He will be good there, but he's not a United player. He never has been, never will be. I just don't think he fits in. I think United's smart to move him on. I think United need this seal, and the fact it hasn't happened yet, I mean, it's a bit disappointing. Andrew says Mings out looks to be a bad injury. I think, was he stretchered off? I mean, if so, yeah, I mean, it's not good. It isn't good, and that's a good few injuries on this first game week of the Premier League. It's not good at all, guys. Let me see. Was looking for some United stuff as well. Anybody? Oh, Greg's in there as well. Dalot is average in all areas. He's not very good on the ball like people think. He gives the ball away a lot. Mohamed is down there as well. I like. As for me, I prefer Tebito to replace Maguire than Pavard. I think, yeah, Pavard. Look, Tebito is a like-for-like replacement. He comes in and replaces Maguire in the squad. But does he play enough matches to make it worthwhile? I think because Pavard would be a better right back than both Wan-Bissaka and Diogo Dalot, and he can cover centre back as well. I think that makes the most sense. I think it might have been Jeremy or it might have been Greg before had said Maguire started 9 matches last season in the Premier League. He isn't that big of a replacement in terms of his match load. So I think Pavard's the guy for it. For anyone who might have missed it, we did have an update coming in from the Muppeteers on Mason Greenwood. So the Greenwood investigation is complete. United are in a briefing phase where they're notifying all important players and parties addressing concerns, which includes sponsors, the coaching staff, the first team staff, the women's and the youth staff at the club. Manchester United will be accepting feedback, but the decision is based on the objective findings of the investigation, not opinion or feedback. The women's team, United's first team, the coaching staff will not change the decision. The club have made their choice. So, United's made the choice. We're going to find out what happens here. It's been a long time coming. It has been handled really, really poorly by Manchester United because this decision should have been made a long time ago. This decision should already be known, but it isn't. United have really, really delayed on this. And part of me can't help but think, yeah, look, I think United and the ownership wanted to ignore this situation in the hope that the takeover might have been done, and then we might see the Qataris coming in making the decision, or it might be Radcliffe's decision to make. I think it's got to the time where they've had to make a decision. Apparently they've made it. We don't know what it is, but we're going to find out very soon. I think this probably comes out maybe after the Wolves match. I don't think we're going to put Erik Ten Hag in front of the press in that way. I think the club will want to protect him, protect themselves and the players, and they don't want a million different questions on this. So it's going to happen soon. If it does happen and Greenwood comes back, make no mistake about it, guys, this man will not be playing football for Manchester United for a long time. He won't be, even if he does come back, because he hasn't played in 18 months, hasn't trained in 18 months, first team football-wise. It's going to take 4 or 5 months maybe to get him up to match speed. It really is. And Nelbus is saying, I think Wan-Bissaka is good for right back, but he needs to hold position. Pvard is replacement for Varane. We also need to be the replacement for Lissandro. I don't think we need both. I think we can get away with Evans and Shaw as left centre back cover. I think Varane's a more important one because he will be injured more often. He will need rested. He will need to have matches where he's going to be off. Alex says this should have been done a couple of weeks before the season starts. Yeah, look, we've kind of delayed, and now we find ourselves in the Premier League season. It's not good. It really isn't. I thought I thought this would have happened during the summer break when United broke off for the end of last season, right before pre-season, because he would have had 2 or 3 weeks with no United stuff, no training, no interviews, no press conferences. Erik Ten Hag would have been on holiday, players would have been on holiday, and it could have been done, and a lot of the hate could have been dropped off. But seemingly we're going to be doing this and dropping it right in the middle of the busiest part of the season. So this is a United decision. This is, again, like per ownership, per decision making, but we're going to have to see what it is. Spectre says, argument for Topito is he's slightly younger than Pavard. Yeah, look, that's definitely a positive, and I think he comes in, if we get him, as a long-term option. He comes in and plays long-term for United. Might be the long-term Varane replacement. But in my opinion, I think there's better younger centre-backs out there who will be better than Topito in a couple of seasons, who will have really, really high potential. And that's what I want to see us do. Mohammed says, if we have 2 right backs, as of now, we need a replacement for Maguire and Varane. Andrew says, first thing, he must come back when he plays. When he plays, is up to the manager. Too good a player to ignore and warm the bench. Yeah, look, he is a good player. He definitely is, but it's gonna take a long time for him to be match fit. It really is. He's been out of the game for 18 months. He's gonna have to take 2 months of training to at least get up to match fitness. So that could take us into October. It will probably take longer for him to integrate into the system. So we might not see him until November. He might just be swept under the rug until then. Who we got? Greg is saying a loan is the best outcome for Greenwood. He's so far behind the squad with sharpness. So as a loan would get him up to speed. It would do. But my question is, who takes him on loan? Because they're getting a player who hasn't played a lot of football either. So, that's the issue here. Innocent says United will win 3-1 on Monday night. Luman, good to see you. Chris says he was a good player. Yeah, he was a good player. And I think was is key. It's going to be what happens if he comes back. United might have made the decision and he might not be coming back. Until that happens, we don't know what's going to happen. So all we can do is wait. All we can do is react when the time comes. All we can do is hold our breath and see what United's going to do. That's going to be the big one. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. Can we get up to 40 likes as well? Andrew says, you don't have, if you don't have players, what do you do when it happens? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much us through the show. So a shorter show tonight, guys. I'm going to have to drop off and leave it here. So have a very good Saturday night, everyone. I will see you same time tomorrow for 5:30 for the build up to the Wolves match. Expect to see the preview drop tomorrow as well. Oh, actually, I can see some comments coming in. Let me quickly go through these as well. Limon says West Ham would not have considered the Bournemouth goal had they had Maguire today. Probably not. The straight Spectre's looking Stephanie in here as well. Yeah, guys, drop a like on the video. Can we get to 40? I'm going to have to drop off here as well, guys. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Shorter stream tonight. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Probably going to go longer tomorrow, like an hour or so, okay? So yeah, keep an eye out in the preview dropping. Keep an eye out on the FPL as well. Link is the most recent community post shared last night as well. So big ups, guys. Thanks so much for joining in. Have a good Saturday. Have a good weekend, guys. And I will catch you all tomorrow in the next one.